What's up, reefers? Thank you for joining another Reef Chat with Reef Stash. I see all the comments. What's up, Germs? What's up, Chris? What's up, Andrew? Boston Reefer, what's up? What's up, Tim Brown? My mom's in. What's up, Mom? We got Kenny backstage. Today, we're going to be meeting with the CEO of Pieces of the Ocean. We're going to take a look at his SPS factory. He's going to give us a live tour through his facility. We're going to sit down and get to know him a little bit. He's also hooked us up with a $200 gift card to one of y'all. So make sure you stay through the entire live stream so that you can have a chance of that. We also have two packs, swag packs that Kenny donated. One will go to the main $200 winner, and the other one will play a 2 truths and a lie, and the winner will take that. But as we always do, y'all, thank you for joining. Make sure you drop a like, share this to your socials. I'm going to get the fish fed, and we'll get this thing going. What's up, Nestor? Thank you for joining. What's up, Carl? Thanks for joining, brother. And let me bring my man Zion on real quick. Why aren't you there, Z? I just tried to add you. There you are. Hey, Zion, thank you for running the backstage. So here's how it's going to work, y'all. We opened up the comments for you to get an early entry on YouTube, and Zion's been documenting your names over the last 2 days. So most of y'all already have your names in, but throughout the rest of the live stream, if you comment either through Facebook or YouTube, that comment will give you an entry. Everybody gets one entry, and we'll do a random wheel spin, and one person will win the $200 prize. So Zion, what's up? Thank you for your help, buddy. Appreciate you, dude. Zion is a man of few words. All right, let's bring the man of the hour on. Kenny Lynn. Zion, can you add him? What's up, Kenny?
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Thank you for joining, bro. Appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. You have a great tank.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you. It's ready for some P.O.T.O. Hey, Zion, can you put us three together big? I don't even know which option that is. So this is my favorite time viewing. Oh, not that one. Trying to see my boogers, dude. There we go. Yeah, get Kenny up top. There we go. We're shuffling chairs. What's up, Clay? Thank you for joining. Robinson, thank you for joining. All right, so we just fed the fish. Look at them guys go. So Kenny is the CEO and founder of Pieces of the Ocean, piecesoftheocean.com. Tons of coral on there. He's also on Reef and Bed. He's also the creator of Reef and Bed, and we'll talk about that a little bit today. And two things we're going to do today, guys. We're going to talk about SPS care from the SPS King, Kenny Lynn. And let me tell you, Kenny is humble, man, because he's like, I don't know, Rob, maybe you don't put King on there, but he is the king. So Thank you for joining, Kenny. We appreciate you. And we also want to talk a little bit about everything that goes into keeping a coral retail farm. And if y'all have questions, just drop them down below. Kenny, I'm going to give you the floor, brother, and you just give us a little background about yourself and how you got into keeping reefs and then transitioning into a business.
Okay, so again, thanks for having me, Rob. So I guess I've been in the hobby since 2018, 2007, 2008. And just like everybody else, I started out as a kid just very much into nature, wildlife, animals. So I've always wanted to keep pets. And the reefing, the aquarium hobby came about from my last job, from my day job, corporate job. I was a programmer, so I looked at the computer all day. I think Robbie told me that you're in the tech industry too, right? So you kind of know what it's about. So I look at code all day. So my wife, my girlfriend at the time, got me a little fish tank because I was sitting in a cubicle with no windows. So she was like, "Here's a little nature, a little bit of a window to the outside world." So I got a little fish tank. I kept like little freshwater tetras. Then next thing you know, I was like, "Oh, you know what? I want to bring this to my house." So at my house, I started a freshwater tank. And then one day, one of my friends was giving away a 90-gallon tank, not reef ready, by the way. So it's a free tank. Why not? You know. But I was gonna do cichlids with that tank. Then, you know, as I started doing more research, I realized I was going to spend a lot of money with what I wanted to do because I want to do 3D backgrounds, foam inserts, all those things. And I was a DIYer, so I'm like, let me look into saltwater because it feels like there's a lot of work, a lot of money. Next thing you know, I'm like, you know what? I think part of me is that I always welcome a challenge. The harder it is, the more I want to do it. And so, you know what? Let me just do a saltwater tank, you know. So that's how it all started. And then from then on, I started with the my first reef tank. I had the YouTube overflow with the siphon. You know, the one that you have to suck every time you lose siphon.
Yep.
And I started with that. And yeah, and started with corals, fish right from the beginning with that 90-gallon, and then the rest was history. You know, here I am.
I have your Wall Street Journal up right here. Kenny, this article goes into talking about some of what he just shared, but transitioning from a developer into the fish keeping industry. And I mean, you didn't just like jump into reef keeping. I mean, you were making six figures as a developer. And
I was making I was making good money at the time, you know, but all that money went to corals. And how much corals cost? I think in the article it mentioned I was spending like almost whatever salary I made all went to corals. And luckily at that time I was just getting married, not getting married yet, and I didn't have kids, you know, didn't have any sort of like, you know, responsibility, let's say that, beyond myself and then, you know, whatever I needed to do. But after a while, I looked at my bills. I'm like, you know what? If I'm spending all this money, you know, in that way, in a very naive way of thinking, saying that if I'm spending this money, somebody's got to be making it, right?
Yeah.
So I was attracted to the glamorous side of that. So then I started, you know what? Let me grow my corals, sell it, recoup my money, see where this goes. So the selling part, that's how that started. I think some of the guys that still are in the hobby today remembers me from back then when I was still in that apartment. What happened? I cut a hole out of the wall, out of a dining room, made a fish room out of it. And here's a funny story. When I was dosing Interceptor at that time.
Man, I remember those days.
The skimmer overflow. You know, when you dose Interceptor, the skimmer goes crazy. And then I had it drip into a bucket. And then a bucket overflow overnight. So in the middle of like 3 o'clock in the morning, the super and my neighbor downstairs knocked on the door, rang the bell saying, "What's going on? Like, is somebody okay?" Because the water from the skimmer was leaking through the floor down to their mattress. And that skimmer juice, because of smell, they thought there was a body in my bathroom or something.
Oh, shoot.
3 o'clock in the morning, the security, the super, and the neighbor just knocked on the door. So, you know, that's a crazy story that reminds me back in the days when I first started out.
Dude, I used to breed clownfish, and my wife and I converted our master bedroom closet. So we got like these little closets outside of in the bedroom, and then our closet we completely converted into clownfish breeding area. That lasted for a couple years. That was a fun experience.
Yeah.
But dude, you made the jump. Like it's not easy to compete. You're basically competing with yourself, right? Like you got to match this career income and to take the leap. And so was that that transition? Did you take a pay cut for a minute to get things going off the ground?
No.
Just talk about that.
What happened was that I was doing both. I kept the day job, and then at the same time I was doing the business, right? So the turning point when it really got serious was actually when my first child was born. At that time in New York, dads get like 4 weeks, not that many, like a paternity leave.
Mm-hmm.
So around that time, I talked to my wife, and then a lot of it I will attribute it to her because having a good support system is very important when you're starting out business, especially ones like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you're going to a physically, there's nothing to fall back on, and I took the time during my paternity leave to actually build out a space out of my parents' house in the basement to expand the operation, right? And then I was talking to her, and she's like, "So what do you think? When do you think this is gonna go somewhere?" You know, we were having that talk, right? And I basically said, "Okay, how about this? I give myself 3 years time, right? If this thing goes nowhere, I'll go back to my day job." So having that, she felt, I think that kind of settled her in a little bit, and allows me to basically have nothing to hold me back. So I just went gung ho at that point. Let me just take these 3 years, see where it takes me. That 3 years, I still held my day job. So whatever mistakes I made, I had something to fall back on, my 9 to 5, right?
Okay.
But I want to say that while the day job kept me afloat, it was also it will also become a downfall for the business if I did not quit it.
Right.
Because two things. One is that because I felt that I had a salary to fall back on, there's nothing pushing me. I felt like I'm not backed up against the corner. So you know what they say, like adversity promotes innovation.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm comfortable, there's no need for me to strive for more or like hustle even harder or, you know, think outside the box to figure out how to come out of the hole, right? At the same time, because 90%, well, majority of my time was still in my day job. There's not much dedicated to the business, so the business was not flourishing, you know, the way it could. So based on that, I decided to, you know what, I have to quit my job. You know, I had to, as much, you know, the salary was whatever, but if I want to go somewhere with this, plus I built out a basement already, and I felt like there's no going back for me. I either go all the way or I want to regret it, you know?
Yeah.
So when I quit my job, I didn't actually quit it. I lined up some gigs like freelance that will last me like a year, 6 months, 12 months to continue to make additional income while I'm making that transition from being employed to being unemployed, right? And then during that period, a lot of things happened. The auction started as a result of me having to figure things out.
Right.
That auction, how the auction came about can be a whole story because there's so many things I played into. If I did not quit my job, auction wouldn't happen. And then
because you needed that extra time to put into it to get it off the ground. And Kenny, you're a developer, programmer. So did you do all of the programming for your websites and for the auction site, which I'll show in a second? But were you the primary?
Yeah.
developer?
So obviously I didn't build the site from scratch. I used Shopify as a platform.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of customization I had to do myself. If I wanted, say, if I run a sale, I want to do a countdown. You know, I either pay someone to do it or do it myself.
Right.
The auction software that runs on top of Shopify that a lot of the sellers are running these days needed a lot of customization. And at the time, it was still in a very primitive state. so I had to customize a lot of that myself to my needs. So yeah, a lot of that I had to take on myself. Yeah.
So, just recapping some of what you said, so if you were to do things differently, you would have from the start gone all in.
No, actually, no.
Oh, you
I
wouldn't?
think whatever mistakes I made, I will make it again, because if I didn't make it, I wouldn't have learned anything from it.
Okay.
I made a lot of mistakes in the beginning. That's why it took 10 years from when P.O.T.O started to where we are today, because along the line, a lot of mistakes were made, and a lot of learning has to be done. You know, the auction really came from desperation, because at that time, as far as corals concerned, you know, at that time we would post corals and then promote it and then wait for people to buy it. And if water don't sell, we either take it down or we have to throw on a big sale. You know, but the cash flow was not being generated. So auction, I figure, you know what? Any sale is better than no sales, right? If the customer is willing to pay this amount, at least I'm generating some cash flow. And then, you know, cash flow is king in business. So it will help move the business forward in some way. So I think that's why, you know what? I don't care if I sold stuff for $1 in the beginning, right? It hurt, but I knew the customers would come back because, you know, I got a great deal. I want to see what else is out there. You know?
Right.
So,
Okay. So you have the website here. At what point did you decide to break this off and build a separate platform, which is Reef and Bid, or were you doing auctions through this site originally?
so Reef and Bid came actually a lot later.
Okay.
From the basement to the brick and mortar. So remember I talked about a 3 years mark when I had that conversation with my wife.
Right.
And 3 years coming up, and I was thinking, you know what, I gotta take this to a bigger space. I gotta take it to the next level. In order for me to do that, I knew I couldn't do it by myself, because I just knew I couldn't do it by myself. I think some kind of self-awareness was taking place at that point. Like, you know, physically I can't do all this. And then I knew that I sucked at money management and accounting. So I knew I needed somebody good with numbers and money. And just so happened, I guess I got lucky. One of my customers was buying from me on a Black Friday sale. And then he started talking to me about numbers and money and the business. And then that's the guy they're looking at right there. His name is Will. He's my business partner today. So he was
on the site.
Yeah. So he's like, Kenny, what are you looking for, right? I'm like, I'm looking for a partner that can take on the, you know, some of the operation, logistic, you know, pick up some of my shortcomings, and then I want to take it to a commercial space. I want to take this business to a commercial space. So we got to talking, and then he had the same desire to be a business owner, to own a reef shop himself. And so we got together, and when for about 7 months, we worked together while in the basement, just figuring things out. At the same time, just to see how we work together, because you can't just pick someone and work with them, and then if you don't vibe, and then your personality clashes, then you know it's not good for the business, right? So we kind of did that before we really jumped all into, you know, that whole moving out of the commercial space thing. So we worked together for 7 months on the auction thing, and you know, we worked quite well together. And that's with once I met William, that's when I felt comfortable enough to really take it to the next level by opening up a store.
Okay, so once you went brick and mortar, it was after the site was off the ground. You were past the 3-year mark, and then did you go brick and mortar before Reef and Bid, or did you get that off the ground first?
So Reef and Bid is a very recent development.
Okay.
Reef and Bid came about when we, I think, when we realized the auction could, I wouldn't say hit a ceiling, but I would say it could get more benefit from a market. Because for me, right, when I was running P.O.T.O, every year I think of how to grow the business, like what can we do next year differently to grow the business. If I'm not growing, I'm falling behind because if you know, like, there's a very healthy competition going on. I know where I'm coming from, and I know how hungry I was, and I know that there's a lot of other hungry hobbyists out there that are looking to, make their names in the hobby, in the industry. So for me, I'm always constantly thinking of a way to grow the business. And when I start looking at auction, then I look at the numbers. I'm like, look, okay, as a business, as a coral shop, how many coral can you sell? For example, right? How many OG balances or how many home records can you possibly sell? How many Walt Disney can you sell? So we look at our selection and our catalog and like, all right, we've been selling auction, we've been doing auction for these many years. And we can see the numbers dropping because people are getting the same stuff from us. So in order for us to expand our selection, to bring newer stuff for other people, we either spend money to expand our space, get another location, or with the auction, with our background in tech, we build a marketplace, bring other sellers together, where other sellers have their own selection, and together with our selection, instantly the auction selection is a lot bigger, and then the customer base can come together, right? That's where the head was at that time, and that's the whole reason for Reef Bid, was let's build something or you can think of like a digital Reefer Palooza that's live 24/7, right? And then have mock together, and then everybody wins. As P.O.T.O, we benefit from the big audience, and other sellers, they benefit from having a platform to sell on, and having also our audience too. So I think that's a very win-win situation, and I think it works out. Right now we have, if you look, I think we have some sellers on there right now already.
Yeah, I was when I drop the menu down, it doesn't show on the share screen, but so of the names, let's see, we got Aqua SD is on here. Man, I remember them from way back in the day. Camaro Show Corals is on. Pieces of the Ocean, obviously, Queen City Reefs, and Sunnyside Corals are on there as well. I was browsing through it earlier, and man, there's a huge variety of corals at all sorts of prices.
Yeah, so these are just sellers that are currently listing, and there are sellers that are not listing that I have signed up. So if you go to Second Chances, there's actually more sellers there.
Okay, where's Second Chances?
Second Chances next to the running auction tab.
Running auction. Oh, okay. Let's see it.
So if you click on Second Chance sellers, there's quite a lot more there.
Oh yeah, I see Austin Aqua Farms. Man, that's dope. I used to shop at them when I lived in Texas. We're in Florida now, but the Coral Kai Reefs on there too. Sunset Reefing LLC's on there. Yeah, this is awesome, man. So those that didn't know, Reef Bid is not just P.O.T.O. P.O.T.O, Kenny developed and owns this site, but it's for other sellers as well. So for anyone that has what's the prerequisites to be on Reef Bid as a seller, Kenny?
So I think I think first foremost gotta be able to take good pictures. We welcome all sellers to be on it, but to be successful on it, I think someone needs to be consistently posting, and then the customer and the market will determine your success, right? So I don't want to place too much limitation on that. I let the customers, the users decide the success of the sellers, and if able to be successful on it. I think if you've been consistent throughout the years, been consistent before, you should be successful. And if you're new to the selling practice, there's a lot to learn. But I think the number one key is to take good pictures.
Right on. So is this businesses only, and is there you have to be brick and mortar? Do you have to have a business license? Or can hobbyists sell on here as well, or is it businesses only? So
no, anybody can sell as long as you have a valid banking information, all that, so you can get paid. Again, the key really is to expand selections for the users. If I limit only to the brick and mortars, then kind of goes against the original vision of the site. So there's a lot of good stuff that private hobbyists can bring to the table too. Like I myself, I still buy from hobbyists, So there's a lot of good stuff there to be had. So I definitely don't discourage that. But if you're looking to make money and be successful financially, then there needs to be a plan going on it, because you're going against some of the big guys like AquaSD. You know, they post a lot. They have a lot of code. They have a lot of good stuff. And
Right.
also Aqua Farm, Zoentis.com. You know, some of these bigger sellers, you know, that has brick and mortar, has the space and the volume. So I think my goal really is to let the market, let the users determine the success of the sellers.
I love that, man. I completely love that you opened it up to hobbyists. You know, everybody knows we grow coral, and you got to do something with it because you run out of space, and you're either trading with people or you're trying to find a place like your local fish store trying to sell it, or get store credit. I think it's a great opportunity for hobbyists just to move their own coral. And then, I mean, what happens, right? You get money from coral, selling coral, and then you go buy more coral, right? Like it's a loop.
Yeah.
So I think that was a smart call, man.
Yeah, I wish this was around when I started. It would be a lot easier, you know.
Yeah.
Plus, you know, we do all the promotion, we do all the marketing for it, you know, to bring users to it.
I love it, man. I've used eBay in the past, but it was like I wanted something specific for reefing. So I think this
interesting.
Is great,
you brought up
dude.
eBay. We definitely tried eBay before. The problem with eBay is there's many folds, right? One is the fees. It's very complicated fee structure, and I think the fees are like you could be upwards 20%, you know. And then with eBay, it's not refocused, not for the hobby, right? I look at eBay, eBay kind of like a flea market the size of a football stadium. You know, you walk in there, people selling clothes, sneakers, corals, right? eBay is not promoting the reefing hobby, you know, but Reefing Bit, we're promoting the actual hobby. So people are here, they're looking for corals. They're not here looking for a car. They're not here looking for sneakers. They're looking to buy corals. So that's a great thing, I think. That's the difference.
Yeah, I love it. And okay, so you're an app guy. Is there an app coming? TJ was asking. Obviously,
no,
the
I
website...
actually steered away from apps because website. Anybody bring up a website, you know. So the thing is about website is that site. I mean, look at it. It's just a web application, web app, right? You look at it like it's a web app. It just sits on a browser instead of sits on where you have to download from App Store. I actually built an app called Fish Guide. I built a Fish Guide app, but it didn't go anywhere. I feel like there's too many restrictions. You know, Apple, the ecosystem is so closed up. So technically speaking, it's a lot more challenging to get into. Then you have to build a version for Android, and then whatever ecosystem gonna come out in the future. So this is kind of future proof.
And then you're maintaining both versions of the same app. Oh yeah, that's a lot of work, man.
Yeah, but I do recognize that based on our analytics, 90% of our users are on mobile. So this site is built for mobile first.
Smart.
Yes. So if you go on the phone, you can definitely work. It works perfectly on the phone just as much as it works on the desktop.
Yep, I actually signed up from my phone, and then obviously right now I'm on a desktop. Yeah, there's no glitches or anything. It's perfect, clean. I like the clean design. It's easy to start browsing corals and get sucked in.
I think being easy to use is the most important. People, if it's hard to use, they don't want to use it. But we still get I still get a lot of feedback from users, and you know, I take a lot of those and try to implement it, but it takes time because again, it's me me working on it, and then my brother, who's has also a tech background, he's a main developer on it, and then William, you know, all three of us put our heads together to build this thing out. We don't have any financial backing, or everything is our own. You know, whatever you see there, we have a hand in it. We don't have, you know, whatever, like the corals that we sell, we take that money and we invest into this marketplace. So it takes a little time to implement some of the features, but if you guys be patient, it will make it. Yeah.
Guys, there's a lot of coral on here. If you saw the bottom there, sorry, I don't mean to go so fast there, but at the bottom, look, we're viewing 50 products per page. We're at, is there more pages than 4?
look at the prices on this. This is ridiculously low. You know, there's a lot of deals to be had. I think it's great for.
Got some beach bum lineage there. This is great, dude. I love it. All right, man. I gotta ask you, Kenny. So, well, first of all, Nick, what's up, man? Give you a shout out. Nick's doing some cool things with aquaculture, and he's building a facility right now. Nick is the owner of Tank Mates, and
Okay.
shoot, Nick, this is right up your alley, dude. Once you get things off the ground,
Yeah.
have to check it out. Tell me, Kenny, what is your favorite coral? I'm gonna guess it's Acroporas, but I don't know. Maybe you're gonna throw me a curveball and tell me something else. What's your favorite coral, dude?
You know, I used to tell people that I really don't have one, but I've been thinking about it, and then I think the corals that's hardest to keep is actually what I like right now. So I'm actually going through a speciosa phase right now, because it's one of those corals that's really hard to keep. But then when they turn, when they color up, it's so spectacular. So I think right now I'm on a speciosa high.
Okay, you gotta. I don't even know what that is, man. What's Speciosa?
Oh, it's like a smooth skin that they were importing in from Malaysia. It's like a smooth skin acro. It's
acro. Okay.
It's notorious for you know, slow growth and peeling out of nowhere when it's so happy. One day, next day, it just poops, goes. That's why you don't really see it around, because no one has really grown a colony out. Because one, it takes a long time, and sometimes it just doesn't like, you know, I think it's pathogenic related. So there's a lot to it that we don't understand. So I'm trying to understand it, and it's difficult, you know, like whatever I can do, I just want to figure it out. So I guess it's currently is my favorite.
Give me a designer name. Is there any on your website of that type?
Oh yeah, if you go, we have two pieces that we have released. One is called Judgment Day. The other one's called the Kraken.
Oh, I remember seeing the Kraken. Look at that bad boy. Dang. Okay, that's beautiful, man. It looks like it reminds me of a tenuous.
Yeah, when it grows out in the aquarium, it actually has that tenuous look.
Kraken, man, that's pretty, dude. Look at that pretty thing. Wow. Oh man, it's like a highlighter color, huh?
So yeah, I guess, you know, it's one of those corals that's for the true collectors that that's really after the, you know, the rarest and the hardest. It's not easy to keep, you know.
Yeah, that's price justifies that. Y'all be careful on this website, man. There's some crazy corals on here. Dude, I had so much fun browsing your Acroporas. What was I looking at? I think I was looking at the cut to order collection. Dude, you have one of the most amazing collections I think I've ever seen.
Thanks, we just love it. I think this is a collective effort here at P.O.T.O, right? So some of the corals that you see here, it's grown among 3 guys that you know at P.O.T.O. So me, William, and Christopher Sabella. So Christopher Sabella, a lot of you guys know Christopher Sabella because he's been on the on the forums, and he contributes a lot of his you know, growing here at P.O.T.O as well. So us 3 kind of collectively kind of like put our heads together and just grow acros, because we are all just crazy about acros.
Dude, I love all the colors, man. Golly, the colors are so, man. Once y'all get into SPS, it's like it's addicting, man. So let's talk about lineage. All right, so like a lot of these are P.O.T.O, and then you also have a lot of lineage from a lot of other farmers. Just tell us a little bit about lineage. So if you're putting your tag on it, your name on it, does that imply that you brought it in from the wild and you morphed it into a certain color combination or something? What entails adding your name for lineage?
So if you scroll up on the site, you can see there's right now, I don't know how many pieces right now. It's like 195.
Yeah, there's a lot, dude.
190, no, 197, right?
Yeah, right here.
But I think it's one way to keep track of what you have, like keep the catalog of your collection.
Yeah.
And we put our name, you know, just as a way to put our name out there and say, look, because we grew this out, it came to us without a name, whether or not it from a wild, from a hobby, from a show, from the bottom of the tank that was just somebody at an accidental frag and they forgot what it's called. We want to put a name, a label to it so that we can keep track of it. And I know more often than not, the coral is going to grow to be spectacular. It doesn't matter how it comes to us, brown, green, and as long as it grows out and happy, it's going to be beautiful. So we keep track of. That's how we keep track of it, and it adds a fun element to it. By putting our name, the hobby. I think I saw Mike Paletta said once one of his podcasts saying the hobby is supposed to be fun, right? So by putting the name in there, it keeps it fun for everybody. So, but yeah, like
I love it.
It could be wild, from that we grew out, or it could be something that's unknown that we came across either from a fellow hobbyist. Doesn't matter, if it doesn't come with a name, we want to put a label on it.
Right. That makes sense. I love it. Give a shout out right now to my wife. Hey, babe. Glad you made it. Thank you for joining. Raquel keeps things going for me. She knows eye candy. Look at that. Yes, babe. See all this eye candy? So we've been reefing as a family, Kenny, since 2007.
That's awesome.
And yeah, man, the whole family's all about it, and all of them are very much a part of these live streams and keeping the momentum going.
That's
and
really cool. A family affair. It's awesome.
Yep. If that's the best way to reef. Get your wife's support or spouse, and the kids get excited. And right now, Zon's learning a lot about just running live streams and the gear and equipment, and he's got 4 siblings behind him waiting for their turn.
That's awesome. That reefing hobby, I look at it like you gotta be a jack of all trades, right? When I was building a store, I think this is great that your kids into it because they learn more than they learn, carpentry, electrical, water chemistry, water dynamics, plumbing. They learn about biology, animals, nature. You name it, everything. You gotta know a little bit about everything in order to be successful in the hobby. This is great. I learned so much. I'm sure they will learn a great deal. Even doesn't matter if they become their career is going to be in reefing or not.
Yep.
They can take that skill set with them and they can be successful with their career. So it's great.
Absolutely. I love it. All right, so let's get to know Kenny a little bit and get y'all a swag pack. All of y'all are waiting patiently for any giveaways that we're about to throw your way. So Kenny, again, thank you, man, for showing up at this live stream and not just showing up and sharing your knowledge and everything about your business, but you came bearing gifts and hooking the viewers up. So thank you for that support for the community, bro.
Oh, no worries, man. Thanks for having me. Glad to spread the love.
Hey, Tommy, right there, man. That Reef and Bid t-shirt is fire. So yes, that's part of the swag pack that Kenny is dropping for y'all. Look at that shirt. Tell us about that shirt, Kenny.
It's actually it's UV ink on it, so it glows on the blue light. So it's perfect for perfect to wear when you're reefing. And then
I love it,
you want to give out one of these lens kits too. These lens kits.
Lens kit, yep.
Yeah,
with that big lens too, man.
Yeah. And then these glasses, so you can look at your tank, knock out the blue.
Yeah. Does it got your logo on it?
Yes, got a logo on it too.
On. P.O.T.O. All right, Kenny. Let's so we're gonna play 2 truths and a lie, guys. First person to comment correctly the lie will win the P.O.T.O swag pack, which will include the Reef and Bid tee, orange glasses, and orange lens filter. My man Zion, let's scroll at the bottom. All right, y'all. So you got to guess which one is the lie. Number 1, Kenny has an agro tank with 4 inches of detritus. Say what? Kenny was named after singer Kenny Rogers, singer and songwriter. And number 3, Kenny only uses instant ocean salt. Which one is the lie? 1, 2, or 3? What's up, TJ? Come on, you know the answer, dude. NSB Reefs, what up? Gloria Diaz, thank you for joining. Steve C, what's up? All right, we got number 1, we got number 2, number 2, number 2. Zion. Who said number 3 first? Oh, no. Number 2 first. Who said number 2 first? So it looks like we're live on Instagram from Kenny's Instagram channel. We're on YouTube and Facebook, so not everybody will see everybody's comments. We can, though, in the back. I'm waiting for Zion to tell me who was first. Gloria Diaz, congratulations. You've won a Reef and Bid P.O.T.O swag pack. Thank you,
Gloria.
All right, Gloria, all you need to do is message ReefStash, Instagram or Facebook Messenger, or send Kenny a direct message with your information. What? No, it is. All right, cool. All right, Kenny. So let's do a quick rapid fire before we jump into a tour. Y'all hang tight. Kenny's going to walk us around his facility, and we're going to see what goes into his auctions and just inventory, how he manages stock, his equipment and gear. And it'll be a good time just walking around, checking his facility out. All right, Kenny. So we're going to, I'll say, reefing related terms, and you tell me the first thing that comes to your mind. Fish.
Fun.
They are fun, dude. You know what? I've had tanks without fish because I was so addicted to the coral. Like, I just kind of forgot about the whole, yeah, reef tanks have fish. And I was just so focused on every coral in my tank. And when I realized, oh, man, I'm missing fish.
Can I say something about that? So,
yeah.
I've always been a proponent of having lots of fish in the tank. I think without fish, you can't be successful with corals unless you dose a bunch of stuff in it. So I think what fish helps, because like if you look at all the nature shows, look at the news, they say the area in the ocean that's degrading the most are the ones that are without fish, right?
Yeah, that's good.
So what the fish adds to the ecosystem is something that we have not understood fully. But I did read a science paper where they were studying the dry weight of fish poop, okay, of different reef fishes, and they were actually measuring micro and macronutrients such as zinc, nickel, potassium, magnesium, manganese, stuff that we're dosing, trace element that we're dosing in the tank. So the fish themselves, when they eat, they process that trace element and poop it out, and then as a result, it's something I think is usable for the corals. So all the tanks in our store is filled filled with fish as much as we can safely, and where the fish can be happy, because I think they serve more than just being beautiful and fun to look at. They actually help the corals actually thrive. So next time, think twice before you're not having fish in the tank.
That's good. That's true, man. Which brings me to another point about your acro tank with a 4-inch detritus bed. I'm assuming there's some method to that.
No, and it's a coincidence. It's just me being me, right? I just like my stuff like dirty, like my stuff just natural, because I think no one's siphoning out detritus in the ocean. And I look at the corals, and the corals are not, negatively impacted by it. So I just leave it. So it's been like this for 5 years, and I don't want to disturb it, because I know if I disturb it, something might go, who knows what's going to happen. But so far, everything is good. And I start to read into it, see what it can possibly do to help the system or impact the system, if it's in a good way or a bad way. And I read a recent paper saying that detritus is a trace element sink, in addition to bacteria, microfauna, it also harbors good enough a certain amount of trace elements. Again, I'm just scratching the surface of this. I'm just trying to understand. People started asking me, the same question you asked me, Rob, is, do you think that it's doing something to the system to help your corals? I don't know, but I think it's not causing any harm.
Yeah.
And I'm not a scientist by trade. I just use, based on my experience, I look at the corals and they respond well to what I'm doing, and I'm just to keep it that way. I'm not gonna break it.
Yeah, so it's just so in my sump I have a lot of detritus buildup that makes it past the socks, or maybe I don't have socks in and they, it starts building up. But what I've been doing lately is I'll grab a turkey baster and I just start like shooting it, and it goes, into the water column. But when I do that, I notice all the SPS come out and they look like they're feeding on it. I don't know if they're actually feeding on it, but and then that's my way also of just getting it to cycle through the tank and then get into the skimmer and everywhere else for mechanical removal. But do you have any insight if the SPS are actually consuming the detritus that is in the water column?
So the detritus is made of a lot of things. I can't say for sure they're eating it. Again, when they could also be shedding slime, because the detritus could be also causing irritation to the skin. Just like when you shoot micro bubbles into the system,
Yep.
But they're not. They just slime up, right?
Right.
But when they shoot out their inside gut, they're trying to digest stuff outside of their body. So they are trying to eat something, or they try to take in something in the water. But again, because I'm not a scientist, I never put it under a microscope to look at what's underneath. I can't say for sure, but all I can say, they're happy, right? They pull the polyps fully out, and they respond well to it. Hey, then that's what it's about. I don't want to get too I think in today's especially if we run a business, and we get too buried into all the science and all the stuff people are saying at the moment. It drives you crazy. The hobby is supposed to be fun, it's not supposed to drive you crazy. So
I'm with you. And that just brings up another point. So everybody, there's so many different ways of reefing, right? Like you watch your corals, you watch your fish, and do what works, right? Like
yes.
if you're getting negative results, well, then maybe you shouldn't be doing that.
So I also want to tell people, like, don't do it. Like, don't think that our way is the only way.
Yep.
There are many ways to be successful at reefing. I know that. Here's a perfect example, right? In the store, I take care of some tanks, William takes care of some tanks, and Chris takes care of some tanks. And we all bring different methodology to reefing. I'm a very dirty reefer. William's a very clean reefer. He can't stand the sight of detritus. But guess what? His tank thrives just as much as mine.
Yeah.
He siphons all the detritus out of his tank. He can't stand it. But his tank, his coral he grows coral just as much as crazy as mine. So I'm not saying that my way is the right or the only way. I think we should find a way that works for you and learn through the process and figure out what works for you and stick with that. And then that's what it should be like,
Yeah, agree with you. All right, let's do another rapid fire. Lights.
Lights. You can't give too much light to your corals. Yeah.
True.
I mean, SPS, obviously. SPS.
Yeah. All right. So, do you like to blue cook your corals, or are you doing more of a white?
Honestly, I'm more of a blue smurf type of guy because I just enjoy looking at corals in that light.
Same.
And I've also just done some research into blue light. And there's a paper out there. I could probably post the link later. There's a paper out there that says corals, SPS coral, Acropora. They did a study with Acropora millipora, the millies, and Stylophora, the bird's nest. And they actually absorb blue light better than other lights in like the spectrum.
Right.
So because there's science behind it, and there's anecdotal evidence that I've seen where it encourages better colors in the coral, and I like blue light better. It just sometimes it just gives me a headache if I look at too much. But other than that, I I do like the corals under blue light, but I do realize people, some OG SPS guys, they like the SPS under white light too. So
yeah, I definitely like viewing, like when I'm putting the orange glasses on, I like that blue light, and I just like looking at all the colors. But if we're just hanging out in the fish room, I find myself turning the blues off just because it can be kind of annoying to see that blinding blue light, and the white just is a little more easier in the room, like the ambiance of the room.
yeah, exactly.
All right, man, you ready to check out your facility and do a little walk around? And we have some questions that I've been starring in the backstage that people are asking about gear and filtration, and I'm sure a lot of those questions will be answered as you're walking around.
I can't see the question. Let me turn. So it's almost 8 o'clock here at night, so all the lights are also. I'm gonna have to turn on each one. So give me a few minutes.
Okay, cool. Andrew H, yep. Oh man, Kenny, I'm reading over the comments right now.
Yeah.
And I think we made a mistake on the swag pack. The first person to comment was Tommy P, but I was looking for numbers, and he commented Rogers and not a number, so I overlooked it. That's my bad.
That's fine. I mean, we can do something there.
Okay, cool. Hey, Tommy P, I got you, man. I see that right now. Sorry about that, dude. And Gloria, you still get a swag pack coming? We ain't gonna do y'all dirty. You the man, Kenny.
Oh no, thank you.
So Tommy P, don't forget to message. And y'all, you make sure you hang out, because when we do the $200 gift card, you're gonna have to be present and comment within 60 seconds. If you don't comment to claim your prize, we're gonna respin. We didn't do that in the last live stream, but we're gonna try that this go around. You, Kenny, you turning your lights on from mobile controllers or what?
I'm putting from my phone, Mobius. So we use Radeon in the store. So that's why we're turning on all the Radeons on my phone right now.
Right on. Y'all, isn't reefing awesome with the tech? Man, I remember when I first got in and all we had was like halides. There wasn't a whole lot of controllers back then. I think Apex was just coming out. And controlling was like, wow, you know, like you had they were like timer, power.
You know, the aquarium hobby is actually behind in terms of controller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, I got into aquariums just to get away from the computers, because I'm on computers all day long, and aquariums are like, that's my break to get away from the computers. But now I'm still on a computer with the reef tank, right?
Can't get away from it. Yeah.
No, man.
All right, so I'm ready. So let me see how to do it.
All right, so from your phone, you're gonna click that backstage link, and then I'll add it to the stage, or Zion will. Yep, it just popped up. All right, should be good now. You can unmute the phone. And I muted your mic on the desktop. If you go back to the desktop, I'll unmute it. And your phone, Kenny, is still muted. Hey, Zon, can you make me little and Kenny big? Yeah, I can hear you now, Kenny.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, so I'm gonna start from the front of the store. So this is the door, and then these are all the salt boxes. So we use Instant Ocean for our tanks, and this is the
Ocean.
When we first come in, these are HDI strand lights.
Nice.
We're actually trying out some new lights for this tank. We're trying to do something a little bit different with this tank, and then I think we're gonna try the reef breeder to see how that works.
Kenny, are these mother colonies that you frag from, or is this just?
Yeah, I mean these are definitely some of our mother colonies that we frag from. So this is the white light right here. I turn on the white light.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, I wish my anemones would just be 1 or 2 and stop splitting on me. You have any secrets to keeping them from splitting?
No, I mean, I think if they want to split, they want to split.
Yeah.
But ours continue to split too. We just take them out. See this one right here? We gotta take them out too.
Yeah.
So this is
Okay.
display tank. This is a new tank we just set up. So those that are local to us know that we used to have an ELOS here. ELOS 200. That tank blew up on us. The
Oh,
steam
wow.
blew out on us, so we replaced it with a tub here. So we're gonna try to. This tank, not much in here, just started. So this is a frag tank, which is tied into SPS1. This SPS1 tank is taken care of by William. And this tank uses Radion and Blade.
Okay. Nice.
So we have 2 blades. So 2 blades. And then 5 Radions. So these are grow outs. A lot of grow outs happen here.
Love it.
This is another. This is an 8 feet by 30-inch frag tank. I think it's about 15, 16 inches high. Christopher takes care of this tank.
I love that you have all the shallow tanks. It makes it so much easier for taking pictures too.
Yeah. So one of the most crucial things for e-commerce is you have to take product pictures.
You're right.
So a lot of our way of planning is all around photography. This is a small 60-gallon. No, 80-gallon.
Nice. Are these all connected? Or are these all looped together?
No, this is by itself.
Okay.
So this is by itself. You see, this sump is for
Yeah.
this system. There's a sump here that's for this system. And then this tank and this tub is tied together. So this is the colony, and Will wants to move the frags here after he makes frags, so he just keep more space here to grow corals. So a little bit of back behind the scene. So Will, I think he's dosing 2 parts and kalkwasser with this.
Okay. Are all of your SPS tanks on calc?
Yes. So
Okay.
all our SPS tanks on kalkwasser and calcium reactor.
Okay, you're doing reactors too.
Yeah. So this is the tank that I take care of. And this is also a lot of the pictures on Instagram come out of. Actually, a lot of pictures come out of all the SPS tank in the store. Because I take care of this tank, I take a lot of pictures from it.
Nice.
That's,
Hey, there's a question asking if you prefer 12-inch fiberglass over 16-inch.
16-inch actually. Now that we've done it, these are 12-inch. 16-inch give us a little bit more depth to work with. So this is SPS, and then this is LPS and mixed. So you can see, actually, let me go back to SPS tank. This one has Radions, 2 T5s that's not on right now,
Yep.
and Reef Bright, 2 Reef Brights on the side. These are for photography.
Okay. What's up, Walter? I see you, man. Thank you for joining, dude.
So this is another one. This is a LPS tub.
Nice. Ooh, pretty. Look at them colors.
And then here's another LPS tub. We turn off the flow.
These all getting kalkwasser too?
No, these are only getting calcium reactor. No kalkwasser. We have these very nice Ghani, but they're all closed up now because of the nighttime. But during the daytime, they take up the entire rack. These are some hammers, some meat corals.
Kenny, are you running carbon at all?
No, we don't run carbon. We only run carbon maybe when there is a problem, but no, we actually haven't run carbon for a long time.
I just keep it on hand in case something's airborne or going on with the tank.
So we do put carbon when we ship large colonies.
Okay.
So this is
You just put it in the bag or what?
Yeah, we put a little bit in the bag.
That's cool.
And then this is a lagoon tank. This is where we feed a lot of our anemones, mushrooms.
Oh, nice. Got a grafted chalice there.
Yeah, this one, right?
Yeah.
This is a very cool mushroom.
Bounce.
And then this is this is actually my office. I work here. You can see.
Yep. Is that where you were just sitting?
No, that's the
Oh, okay.
office. I said so. The office is where William, does operation, and we have customer service, so handling shipping, labels, and stuff like that. But my office, I work out here because I like to surround myself with tanks. I can see the store, and this tank is off. Hold on, let me turn on this tank.
Are you changing your camera or?
Yeah, I'm trying to turn on this tank right here. I forgot to turn it on.
Oh, okay. I got you. You're on your controller.
There you go.
Sweet.
So this is a 300-gallon. Chris take care of this tank. This is a mixed reef.
Some bright colors, man. So are you dosing anything other than kalkwasser?
This tank is just calcium reactor and kalkwasser, but on a larger scale because it's 300 gallon.
No elements that you're adding?
No. So the only tank that gets elements is this tank right here. So I'm not sure you guys recognize these bottles.
Yep. Coral Essentials. Is that what I see? Or no?
These are the Reef Moonshiners.
Oh, okay.
So this tank gets Reef Moonshiners because I just wanted to experiment, and since I'm working right next to it, I can do all the dosing and all the experiment, playing around with it myself. So right now, I can show you what I'm dosing: iodine, manganese, chromium, cobalt, iron, vanadium, selenium. But
Look like a mad scientist.
This tank was successful prior to me doing the Reef Moonshiner, but I guess I wanted to see if I could make it better because I sit next to it. It allows me to tend to it a lot more closer.
Right.
That's the reason. Yeah.
All right. So NSB Reef's asking about filtration. Obviously, NSB, we see skimmers, we see calcium reactor, kalkwasser. Anything else that you're running, Kenny?
So the common denominator in the store is calcium reactor, a fugium, skimmer, and kalkwasser.
Okay.
Nothing else. So this is a dosing pump that doses kalkwasser. That's it. And then this tank, we do the moonshine. And then 300 gallon, we can show the skimmer. And Chris just installed a reef mat. He loves it.
Okay.
So
Is that the only one with the reef mat?
Yes. So I think the reason why the phosphate here is a little high, and he's not here all the time to look after it, so he installed a reef mat. And behind it is the black container. That's the kalkwasser.
Yep, see it.
And then he has some acanes that's growing and stuff. You can see.
Yeah.
Giant. Frankenstein.
You must have caught everything right when the lights went off because everything's not all closed up.
Yeah, I mean, they could be bigger. And then this tank has a 40-gallon breeder as a fuge. And then has a calcium reactor. Same thing with this system.
Yep.
Skimmer. And then calcium reactor is right here. The skimmer is
all right. You have a lot. I mean, pretty basic. Other than the calcium reactor, are you for germs? He's asking, what would you tell a guy who wants to try sticks for the first time?
I would ask you, is your tank set up already or not? Because I would do it differently. If your tanks haven't set up yet, the first thing you want to do, you want to go with live rock, not dry rock. If your tank's already set up, so all you need to do is, I guess you've been testing already, you know where your parameters at. So your alkalinity and phosphate are within the acceptable range. You know, you should always just start out with easy coral, see what happens, and then tweak your way into it. Don't spend too much money on the expensive stuff. Try the, you know, Slimers, try the yellow tip, bird's nest, Montes. You know, even before you do anything,
yeah,
add those corals. Don't be scared to add those corals to see how your tank responds. You know, every tank is a fingerprint, as unique as a fingerprint. The way you take care of the tank, even if you set up exact same way as me, it won't turn out to be the same. So just start out with trying some easy corals.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
What about water changes, Kenny? Are you just water changes from shipping, or are you actually doing?
That's a good topic to talk about, because when I designed the store, water change is like one of the most crucial part of being successful for these tanks. So we do weekly water change religiously.
Okay.
With Instant Ocean, and because there's so many tanks, I would advise you guys to design a system where it makes your tour a lot easier, so that you're more likely to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did was, to do the water change, there's a valve. I'm not sure you can see here. So there's a valve right there, and then when I open the valve, it drains. You can drain all the water in the tank. There's another valve that takes water from the reservoir in the back. I open that valve, it will replenish the system. So the idea is, you know, the easier it is to do, the more likely we're going to do it. And that has really helped us in keeping the filtration in the water really well for the corals.
Excellent. Ooh, look at all that candy. See some nice colonies in there too.
There's some nice frags here.
Yeah, lots of color. We have a picture of someone that I sent Zion that's going to be on the wheel. And I grabbed it off your Facebook page. I think he was holding one of those racks at an angle.
Yeah, so that's Christopher. That was when that was Reefapalooza, New York. And we were picking up the rack to put in a cooler, ready to bring it to Reefapalooza. And then when he picked it up, I'm like, oh, wow, look at all these colors. Let me take a picture.
Yeah, looks awesome. It's like dinner is served. Awesome. If y'all have any more questions, drop them in the comments. I think I've covered most of them. Got one more. Robinson Augusto is asking, what do you guys think is the biggest contributor to color success in your corals?
You're not going to like my answer, because I'm going to say stability and more fish.
Yeah, that's
stability, basically. Stability, not just alkalinity, calcium, but stability in terms of your husbandry routine, your lifestyle, right? If, say, you're water changing weekly, but all of a sudden you got a new job that requires you to travel a lot, that's going to throw a curveball into your system. And then your coral will feel it. That's number one, stability. Because when you have stability, the coral is going to start growing. When they grow, that's when they show colors. Given that you have adequate nutrient in the water, the nutrient will come from you feeding the fish. That's my belief. Okay, so I wouldn't say that's the golden rule, because there are other ways to add nutrient. But my belief is that by feeding your fish well, your fish will produce waste that's usable for your coral to consume, and that's how nature has intended it, and that's how we try to replicate it in our tanks, and that's what we're trying to do. So healthy amount of fish and stability.
That's great, Kenny. I like that. And my answer would be different because I'm not doing water changes like you are. You're doing weekly water changes. So I'm actually dosing color enhancers from Quantum. And after I started doing that, I noticed a huge difference in the colors that I was seeing. If I wasn't dosing, then I would definitely have to be doing water changes more frequently.
You know, Rob, that makes sense because at the end of the day, you're a hobbyist. You know, you're here to have fun, and whatever works for you. But it's a business, right? If we have to dose each tank, it's number one. We're going to introduce errors because different people are going to do different things, and we try to keep things as simple as possible for ourselves, for our own sake. But it makes sense that you dose because you're home and you're supposed to supposed to have fun with your system. So
yeah. Look at the color on those. What are those ones right in the front at the bottom of the screen?
These are body climbers.
Wow, those are bright, dude.
These are
look at that.
And bright. Yeah, they're easy and they're bright.
It looks like kryptonite candy canes. The color intensity.
Yeah.
All right. Beautiful, Kenny. I appreciate you showing us all of this and turning your lights on for us and walking around. You're the man.
All right, no worries, man. Oh, this is fun for me. So, again, the hobby's all about fun. And this is our little phytoplankton operation we're trying to start. So.
Okay, cool. So are you already dosing phyto or?
We were looking into it. And we dosed some phyto, but we haven't seen any difference in the tank that we dosed.
Okay.
But we have seen an explosion of pods, and our mandarin fish has a belly look like they 9 months pregnant. So,
that's awesome.
That's gotta be good, right?
Yeah.
But there's some evidence right now. I think that shows that corals actually, especially small baby corals, they actually ingest phytoplankton, or they are symbionts, which basically the bacteria or the bacteria or the what they call symbionts. Something that they live with. They uptake phytoplankton, which benefit the corals indirectly. So there are evidence there that suggested, based on some of the research, very basic research that I've done myself, but in practice, I have not seen any difference, good or bad. But our mandarin fish are fat, so
that's a good thing. Love it, man. Shoot, how many tanks total?
I think 14 or 17. I don't remember.
Okay.
We don't have a big space here because we're in New York, and you know how New York is. The real estate here is not that.
Staten Island, is that right?
Yes, Staten Island. Yes.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, look at that shot. Come on, guys. You know you want to spend all day there. Shoot, looks great. All right, man. Let's do a wheel spin and get these guys a $200 gift card so they can go shopping on your site. So, Kenny, does the card only work on piecesoftheocean.com, or does that work on Reef and Bid too?
It only works on piecesoftheocean.com.
What camera do I need to switch to? Kenny desktop, right? Yep. Hold on. Whoops. Add to stage. All right. Okay, I got you on the desktop now.
Okay.
You can, close out the app. There you go. Cool. Right on, man. So on the .com site, right? The P.O.T.O site?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Did y'all hear that? All right, and this one comes with the swag pack too, Kenny?
Yes.
Yep. All right, awesome, man. All right, Zon's wrapping up the names right now, so we'll give him a few minutes to wrap that up. I'm looking over the comments. Tim, I know you need to bell in a minute. Hopefully you can make it. If not, man, I'm sorry, brother. Let's see. P.O.T.O is the best. P.O.T.O is the best, man. Kenny is the man. Christopher is the man. Let's see. Did I miss any questions, guys? Do you know your total water volume?
Never calculated it. I don't.
All right, we're dropping that comment.
200 gallon.
Appreciate you, Tim. Kenny's calculating. That was a good question. Alcor, what's up? You'll be in New York next week. Right on. And they use the gift card at the shop?
Yeah.
Cool.
I want to say 2,500 gallon, roughly.
2,500 between all of them?
Yeah, between
That's good. You made good use of your space too, man. It looks huge. You said it's not, but it looks huge.
Yeah, so I think space definitely a premium. We stopped selling fish actually in the store after COVID because of the space, and this is the reason being. If any of the guys looking to get into the business, is I have to consider the dollar per inch, right? If you sell fish, yes, fish brings in walk-in traffic, but for us after COVID, walk-in traffic was non-existent, so we had to adapt and realize a fish on average takes up 2 to 4 feet of space per fish, whereas we can fit hundreds of frags in that space. So in terms of dollars, we want to maximize the space. And I was like, you know what? We're not getting full walk-in traffic. Let's just stop selling fish, and just focus on corals.
All right, Zion, you ready, buddy? All right, Zion is ready. You can share the screen and give everybody a look at the names. So we got all the names on here. And Zion's going to do a shuffle before we spin. Did you see that picture in the middle, Kenny? That's the picture I was talking about with the frag rack that you took a picture of.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
We're going to spin. That's Christopher, you said?
That's Christopher, yeah.
All right, well, he's about to go spinning on that wheel. All right, so we got a $200 P.O.T.O gift card. You can use it in the store or on the piecesoftheocean.com site. You will also receive a swag pack, which includes that awesome shirt Kenny's wearing right now for Reef and Bid. What is it? reefandbid.com, right?
Yep.
reefandbid.com, yep. And you'll get a orange lens filter for your phone, and some orange glasses. All right, so Zion, show us a shuffle. Give us 2 shuffles. What's it do? Does it shuffle the... Oh, it doesn't spin it. It just shuffles the names down below. I see. All right, so before he hits spin, you got a timer too, Zon? Okay, so after it shows the winner, Zon's going to put up another screen that shows the time. And you'll have 65 seconds on the counter to comment. If you're not here, we respin. Let's go, Zion. I got you on stage 2Z. And the winner is... Oh, Germs. I know you're here, dude. Let's see your comment. He said here. Oh, you forget it. You don't need to time it now, Zon. He already commented. Right on, Germs. Send me a message or Kenny, and we'll get you taken care of, brother. Congratulations. That was an epic win.
Last time was almost.
Oh yeah, that's right. Zon just told me last time, Germs, you almost won, and this time you won. So right on, Germs. Call you mom. Thanks, mom. All right, that's awesome. Cool, man. I hope this live stream has been valuable for y'all. Kenny is a master at keeping SPS, and he's obviously a master when it comes to running a business. And I know he has some awesome partners along his side. And we just appreciate you, Kenny, taking the time to chat with us and share your knowledge, and for blessing the community with some amazing gifts today, dude. I appreciate you, man.
No, I appreciate this. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, y'all are going to be seeing more of Kenny in Reef Tank Life. He's one of our sponsors on our Facebook group, Reef Tank Life. So when he posts, make sure you show him some love. He's taking care of the community, obviously, from this live stream. And it'll be a good partnership. So, Kenny, thank you for all that you do, man.
All right, thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Yep. And all you reefers, take it easy. I'll let you know if we have a live stream next week or not. But if you follow in for December 18th, we have P.O.T.O Reef will be joining us, and we'll be taking a look at his huge, massive wall system. And that should be a fun live stream. But hit up Reef Tank Life and let me see your tanks, y'all. All right, everybody. Peace out.